Welcome back to Quiet Money Podcast, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. We're coming up next. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Quiet Money Podcast. I am your host, Dex. Once again, as always, I got my beautiful, my real, my tell me when I don't want to hear things, best friend, business partner, she a ride or die. You know what I mean? Strong, independent woman, getting money, making the big deal out there. What's up, babe? How you doing?
Hi, my name is Randy, and I am the co-host of Quiet Money Podcast.
Hey, you know I couldn't do this without you, right?
I know.
Hey, listen, everybody, today is another day where we are in our discovery phase and doing something that we know that we were meant to do. And I don't know if you're out there, whatever it is, if you're part of doing what you've been called to do, it's a different feeling. You know what I mean? It's a scary feeling. It comes with ups and downs like anything else. But if you're out there and you're actually doing something that you feel like you was called to do, it's a different feeling. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
I agree. But it's a good feeling though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now we are called. This is a fact. We're gonna stay committed to building this community with you guys of just sharing real life experiences, advice over all types of topics, because we're gonna have good times, we're gonna have bad times, and being a part of our show, right? Listening to our podcast, you're gonna hear about both, right? Mm-hmm. And we just keep it real about that. Nah, one of the things that I'm gonna jump right into right away that we do keep it real about, I would say more lately, is how hard are we really working towards something, right? Mm-hmm. Are we really giving it our all, or are we making excuses? Are we, like, what are we really doing? And is it our best effort? And I think through this discovery phase of us wanting to change things, we'll identify that, you know, we've been doing great, we've been succeeding, but we could do more, and we got to put a little bit more into it, right? Now, here's what I want to talk about today. Came up as a joke a couple days ago. What was it, like a week ago now? Maybe? I don't know.
I think it was a week.
Not even a week ago. But listen. Let me jump right into it. This is what I wanted to, this is what's on my mind today, and we're going to talk about this. I'm telling you guys a story. It came up as a little joke a couple days ago. All right? Sitting in the bathroom, looking in the mirror, no shirt on, right? Not sure what I was looking for, but I was looking in the mirror. And for anybody that don't know me or don't know what I've been through the last couple years, let's just say during the pandemic, it was hard for a lot of people. And it was hard on a lot of people. And if you're inside a lot, maybe your activity is lower. Maybe your eating's a little higher. I don't know. But I had put on some weight. You know what I mean? I was a lot heavier than I am now. And thanks to Randy, I kind of got myself back in shape. Actually, the best shape I've been in, and taking better care of myself. Right, Ben?
Yes.
But I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, yo, I kind of like what I see. You know what I mean? Body shape is kind of coming in. Muscles, you know, stomach is flattish. The stomach is flattish. You know what I'm saying? You could see where the muscles are begging to just peep through visibly, but you could see them, you know, like silhouette. And
Not silhouette.
And they you could see that they really want to come out. But I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I look really good, but I don't look great. And then I made this joke. And the joke that I made was what? You tell them, man.
You called it the loyal layer.
The loyal layer. That's what we're talking about today, y'all. Listen, we're talking about the loyal layer. You're like, what are you talking about, the loyal layer? Listen, in this example, what happened, this joke I made, I'm looking at my stomach. And when I said that I could see the abs like a silhouette or whatever example you want to use, maybe that's not the best one. But I'm looking at the little love handles on the side. The little, they're not big, they're little, but it's just enough for you to know that they're there. You know what I'm saying? It's just enough to take away from what it could be. All right, I want you guys to keep that in your head. But I'm looking at it. It's got a little love handle side, a little bit on the front. Like I said, you can see the abs, but you can't see them. Like you want to see them, but you can see them, right? And I'm looking at it, and I made the joke. I'm like, that's my loyal layer. That loyal layer of fat on my midsection. Just a little, just enough. That loyal layer. And they call it loyal layer because it's a layer of fat. And for whatever reason, it sticks with me.
It sticks with
It's loyal. It don't go nowhere. Never.
And why is that?
See, that's what we gonna jump into. So then I started thinking like, all right, well, what does that really mean? Now, again, I told you where I came from and I let you know where I currently am. So a lot has happened. Weight has been lost.
How much weight have you lost?
I'm lost about over 50 pounds.
Yeah.
In this whole journey. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. Everybody's hearing might want to clap. 50 pounds lost. That's amazing. That's great. Better shape. I'm out there coaching now. I'm active. I'm sweating almost every day, or at least every other day. But I'm still got the loyal layer. All that resulted. I'm still got this loyal layer. And it's not where it needs to be. No, it's not a bad thing. We don't have to be perfect. That's not what this conversation, this part is about today. But it's literally about what does that loyal layer mean? You know what I'm saying? And when I started to think about it, because again, at first I said it as a joke, but one thing is beautiful thing about God, if you really believe in him, if something's meant for you to see, he will just find ways to keep putting it back in your face creatively sometimes, And as I went through the rest of the week, I kept hearing in my head, loyal layer. And I'm like, yo, what is going on with this loyal layer thing? So I started to think about my stomach some more. All right. And I said, there's certain things that I'm doing that I am not 100% committed or made the sacrifice. For example, I like fries. I don't eat fries nowhere near as much as I used to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
you still eat them, John.
But I still eat fries. Pizza. I don't eat pizza like I used to. Drinking. I don't drink like I used to. I love candy. As a kid, I grew up eating candy all the time. Sour candies, gummy candies, and I'm older now and I still love this stuff. I don't eat it nowhere near like I used to. But I still have it sometimes.
Still eat them joints.
Still eat them joints. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, all these decisions that I made to improve myself, they've been like 90 to 95% decisions. And 90 to 95% is an A, but it's not 100. So that loyal layer might be the 10 or 5%. And that's okay if that's what you want. But I'm sitting there thinking like, well, if I really, really wanted that crazy six-pack, that's the loyal layer I would have to break. Mm-hmm. And that's crazy, but that's literally it, is that I would have to remove that loyal layer from my life. And I want to pause today and talk about how I could actually do that and how you, as a listener, can do that for yourselves, whether it's physically, financially, or whatever. But what are you doing in your life right now where you see the potential of what you could have and what you could do, but you got a loyal layer in your life? You got a collection of decisions that you're not pushing yourself 100%, and you always make it okay for you to not do that. Right? Mm-hmm. So, Randy, I want to bring you into this. Why don't you tell everybody, what's some of the things you see from me that you think contribute to the fact that I'm got this loyal layer? And how do I excuse it? You know what I mean? Be honest. You can talk about me, but like when you see it and I showed you the loyal layer, mm-hmm. What did you start thinking?
It's just your eating habits. That's it.
What do you think about my eating habits?
I don't think they're trash. I just don't see many fruits and vegetables.
Oh, that's
and
not good.
And I see lots of, even you cutting back, to me, is still a lot of. I see a lot of candy and juice, and I mean, you do have times where you don't, where you go a while without it. So you haven't bought any Coke in here, but I participate right along with you.
That's true.
So
that's true, but that don't make it okay. Though.
It doesn't make it okay, but I understand. I think you look great.
Thank you very much.
And you've put in a lot of work, but that behavior of you used to snacking and eating treats and gummies and candies and bread and all of that stuff contributes. And then the other thing is too, I think you reward yourself with food.
I mean, I love food. I love food. You know what I mean? And you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
You do. Because every celebration, let's go out to eat.
Let's go out eat. Let's do something. Yeah.
We both do though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's what we do.
True. That's true. So you're living with me. You see me doing these things. Now, I want to think about you for a second as we talk about this loyal layer, because you're telling me like, yo, you look great. You're still saying good things about me, but I'm still acknowledging this loyal layer, and you're acknowledging it too. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would tell you in the same breath a couple months ago, you look great. You're doing well. The business, you're doing this, you're doing that. But it weren't enough for you. And we talked about some of the changes and things that we've been through already. You know what I'm saying? But when you think about loyal layer in your life, I don't know if it's rather what you would want to do for your businesses or personal, but do you think that you have a loyal layer in your life at all? Look, we ain't gonna sit on my stomach all day.
No. Yes.
What you think
Fitness.
it is?
I don't even know if this equates to a loyal layer, but I feel like being busy is holding me back in a sense.
You want to elaborate on that? Do you want to?
Well, I'm trying to process the question. So I could talk about fitness.
Go right ahead.
Okay. I work out twice a week with a trainer. My loyal layer is I don't follow the diet. So even though I'm looking better and better, it's not tight. It's not where I want it to be. So
that's real. Nah, look.
So
all right, so
that.
that's yours. We're going to sit on the fitness exercise thing. That's the examples we're using. I got one. You got one. You agree? Nah.
But
go ahead.
Hold on. I just want to rewind back to the being busy thing.
No, you're straight.
Because I kind of think that what I'm trying to say is the loyal layer would be being busy, which kind of distracts me from being focused. So even though I can focus on something intently, the being busy is like that loyal layer.
But what do you when you say you're being busy? Because I think being busy could be a good thing, you know what I'm saying, or a negative, depending on what you're busy doing. Now, are you busy doing things that you should be doing, shouldn't be doing? Are you not finishing things? Like, what is Randy's busy look
all
like?
All of that, and
what does
a
Randy's
lot of it's
busy
in my head
like?
too.
All right, all the things you gotta do. Nah, I'm gonna tell you one thing.
I just can't stop thinking about it.
I know.
It sticks with me.
Here's the thing, though. With that being your loyal layer, and I think that's a loyal layer for a lot of people.
You think?
No, I think that's one of them. I wouldn't even tell you yours, but that's one. That's one of them.
You can tell me.
No.
No. Share with the listeners.
We got on that later. But look, I think with you, and a lot of people, if you could correlate with what Randy's saying, like you got a lot of things to do, you're always busy. That becomes the thing that you're somewhat loyal to, and always bringing into different environments. Is you're used to being busy, you're used to doing a lot, so you're just always on the go. And there's nothing wrong with that. Life got a lot of requirements, but you can become loyal and you can become consistent to just always having a lot of stuff going on. Now, the thing that you said about having it in your head, I want to highlight that because, of course, right now we're living in a world where mental health and everything is like crazy through the roof. But I feel like because a lot of things in your head, and that's with a lot of people, and I know you're organized, Serena, but it could bring a level of stress and anxiety to your life that just kind of combinates even more. It's like more of a combination to keep you distracted. You see what I'm saying? Because in 1 minute you're already busy, and because you can't get to what you need to, now you're anxious, now you're stressed out. That just adds to it. You know what I mean? So I think you don't got to agree, but when you have your anxiety that you be, dealing with,
Yep.
I feel like your body is feeling what your brain is doing a lot of the time. You know what I mean? So how could we help you? How can we help other people? What's some of the things you've been doing, even just dealing with anxiety? And again, we keep it real on our show, and I weren't even planning on going here, but as we're sitting here and trying to do a whole lot, just like a lot of people are doing, new podcasts, another business, whatever, all this stuff, there's a negative side to it as well. You're busy, you're stressed, you're making decisions. You might have anxiety. We talked about our fear of failing. Like, what if this actually works? Like, we've been in all these different energies already, right? How do you deal with your anxiety? Yeah.
Well, first you have to recognize what it is, because I always thought that anxiety came from stress. I never really feel stressed out, but for me, it just comes from having a lot on my mind and a lot to do. So I can acknowledge it, especially when I'm feeling it excessively, and then I'll try to reset by going back to the basics, which would be doing my devotionals in the morning, because most of the time when I'm feeling anxiety, I haven't been spending time with the Lord. That's really just what it is.
So it ain't from being, to you, it's not being busy or any of that. Is something else that drives your anxiety. What takes it away?
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So it's that I remember who's in control, because we don't control anything. And why am I being stressed out and busy doing all these things that may not even be important? But you know what I do though? I talk to you.
You gonna make me spill my coffee, then? Wait, talk to me.
I do talk to you.
I know.
I do talk to you about
night,
it.
5 a.m., 6 a.m.
But you're very helpful, because you kind of just put things right back into perspective for me, and then you help me to prioritize things.
You did the same for me, though.
Yeah.
You
don't talk to me like I
That's
talk
not
to
true.
you.
That's not true.
That is so true.
That's not true. See, here's the difference. This is what you don't see. And again, we guys are, married and everything. So if you're married, or even if you got friendships or whatever, like business partnerships, it don't always work well. And sometimes you got differences, right? So I will tell you that I come with a lot. I talk a lot. I communicate a lot. Like, I think a lot. I'm deep, like I'm a lot. I know that. Some of the things that you bring that is so impactful to me is the simplicity. Like, you've always been like the realest girl I ever knew. Like, just real off the break. I'm jumping all over the place, but when I first tried to check for you, first thing you said was, "Hey, I got a friend right now." Like, I just respect that. Oh, I got a friend right now. You weren't on no extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? But after you said you got a friend right now, we was mad cool. You just established, I got a friend right now. You know what I'm saying? It weren't no fun. But I knew you was feeling me. I knew you was feeling me, but I still respected the line of like, I got a friend right now. And that allowed us to be mad cool. And I think throughout time, you always could come in with the simple, real message like, that ain't working, this ain't that. So I really appreciate that. I told you the other day, I give you an example. Anybody that's out there, sometimes you're bickering with people and you get to a level where you got to pause it and resolve, right? Because it's escalating. What you did when we was away, when we went to Portugal, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, before I even tell you what you did, real quick, we're sitting there at the table, we're eating. What's going on and how are you feeling, yeah?
Okay, so we were in Portugal and we were going to some tourist attraction. Trying to get there. I don't remember what it was. And did we do it?
We did
Benfica Stadium.
We did Benfica Stadium, but then the other place where this went down at, we didn't actually do the tour.
Right. Yeah. So we were hungry. We're in a different country. Don't know much about the landscape. Don't know anything, but we know that we're going to this area to see a castle. So we take the Uber to the area, and everybody is pretty much hungry. So we ended up the cab driver, the Uber driver recommended a restaurant. So we go look for the restaurant. We find a restaurant. So I think that the mission, okay, so hold on, let me put in perspective a little bit. We are on a budget because we are on vacation. And I'm usually, tracking things in some capacity. So I'm thinking that the mission is just to get everybody fed. And what happened?
I'll continue the story. The mission she thought was to get everybody fed. And in my head, I'm thinking that we're in another country. We'll come down to the city area in Lisbon. Of course, it ain't cheap to go to Portugal, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, in general, this is my underlying energy. We have to go and try to maximize the experience. All right. So when we get down there, I didn't think it was even an option that we're not going to try to do this tour and then try to go to the next thing and the next thing that was close by. So that's what initially happened when you're trying to communicate about food. I've got this underlying energy of things that I think should be happening and things you should be doing. You know what I'm saying?
We end up at an expensive restaurant.
The most expensive restaurant. We ended up finding out from a little local where we was getting a little coffee shop, a little local spot by Airbnb. We found out that place that we ended up eating at was the most expensive place in Portugal.
Yeah. So while we were there, I was trying to figure out what to feed everybody. And I'm recognizing that it's very expensive, but I'm like, we're here, we're going to enjoy it. So that was my attitude.
Now
I'm trying to get everyone fed as cheaply as possible.
And it was hard.
And it was hard to do.
Especially with $18 bread? 18 euro bread. 18 euros for some bread. That's where we ended up at. But as we're at the table, let's fast forward it. What you did and what you bring to my life and hopefully other people because you can't do this thing by yourself. Sometimes people have to pull you aside to give you the information you need to stop the bleeding, to get to resolution. Nah, I'm got Randy, she's got me. And that's one thing that's really good with us. It's not perfect, but being able to stop and be real with each other. Like, hopefully you guys have somebody in your life, or you go forward and try to have somebody in your life that is able to communicate with you like that and pull you to the side or stop you and be like, yo, let's come to a common ground. Let's figure this thing out. What's the decision we need to make? What do we need to fix? Now, what you did, it was your first time doing it. But we're at the table, kids are there, we're going back and forward in the wrong environment. I'm tripping, And you was like, I love how you said, I'm going to try to get it right. You was like, can I talk to you real quick? And I looked at it and I was like, what's going on with this? And then we went out to the front part of the restaurant.
Yeah.
And all I need to say, in short, was we were now in the same restaurant, but we were in a new environment that allowed communication, yo. It was so crazy. Like, we literally walked 10 feet into the opening, main like lobby area.
Yeah.
And you was just like, and I love what you did. You was like, yo, this is what I was trying to do. This is not what I intended to happen. And this is how I feel. And it was beautiful, yo. Because it was a beautiful thing, because I just sat there and I was like, all right, I know what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
I know where we're at now. She didn't want that. Neither did I. And now I know how she's feeling. Feel me? So it was nothing I could do but now come to the new common ground with you. Because those were the three elements that needed to be addressed. And somehow you got that completely right. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
I ain't been able to duplicate it yet, but I really appreciate you being able to do that. And I would say that is a great example of a loyal layer that you had in your life that you've changed. And I'm about to shock you with this. Nah, for any woman out there, a lot of times you'll go on Instagram. That's why I love our podcast, because if it goes another way, we keep it real. If you're a woman out there, for example, you may be out there, you're trying to be a boss chick, you're trying to get your money, you're trying to do your thing on your end, you don't need no guy, whatever your story is, like, but you're trying to do it on your strong, independent woman. First and foremost, I celebrate you. We celebrate you. That's a beautiful thing. You are an example of Randy and everything that I knew about her when I met her. Now, the loyal layer that Randy, I would say, used to have is something of, you know, I would say a little lack of humbleness and like a submissiveness to a man, especially a man. You know what I'm saying? And that is because from my experience, the things that she has been through, the life that she has had, she's had to be strong on her end. And I would say that when I met her, if I had to buy her a t-shirt that just represented who she was, it would say, I don't need no guy. Like that's what it would say. I don't need no guy. That was you. That's your loyal layer. Like I don't need you. That's where some of your, I don't want to say power, but like that's where I felt that. I felt it from the beginning. Like I don't need you. I might want you. I might enjoy you, whatever, but I don't need you. Now, when it came to trying to break through that, you started to change over time where you was a little bit more humble and saying, hey, I need you for this. I need you for that. Like it started to change. But if things went wrong, let's think about it. Let's keep it real. If things went wrong, you default back to your usual way. When the things that you be saying, I don't know if you want to jump in, but the things you be saying.
This is a clean podcast.
Yeah,
it's a clean show.
But you quickly be like letting me. You go right back into the Randy thing of like, man, I don't need, like, you know what I mean? I don't need you. But in that moment when you took me outside, it was more like, I need this to be okay with us. You didn't come out there like years back with the you were this, you were that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm this and that. Like, there weren't no hierarchy of who was right or wrong. You just was like, yo, meet me here in this common space. I love that. I loved you for that. For real. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? Now, that shows the work that you're putting in over time, which I know has been hard. I know it's been super hard to work on that loyal layer of being a submissive, like, person and being like, it's okay to need this guy. I want you to talk about that a little bit and what that's been like for you and why did you even think to take me outside that day? Because there was a time that you would have never even gotten to that consciousness thought to try to resolve it with me, because I would have just been one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? What you been doing to change like that? What is it, man?
I'm just owning my wifely role.
Oh yeah,
and really just I want to be everything for you. I want to make you happy, and especially as I approach 40.
Oh boy, oh boy, hey, we about to have a good party too.
Yeah. But I just want to be all that.
Oh, I appreciate that,
and I love you, and also I need to show you that I appreciate you. And I don't think that by going into the FU, I don't need you and all that stuff that I used to do, it's not going to work. But I appreciate you being patient with me.
But guess what, though? And this is the point I want to get to. Thank you. First of all, thank you, because I've been here and it has gotten better over time. But it's gotten better over time because everything you did to improve it has been conscious decisions. If you would just be natural, the way that you're always been, nothing would have ever changed. So I think even taking me outside like that was a conscious decision of, this is what I'm going to try. So my point is that a lot of behaviors are learned, right? For both of us, for everybody. And when you want to make a change, it don't just happen because you want to change. It don't just happen because you throw it out in the atmosphere and say, I want to be this type of person now, and it's going to just happen. Like, you really got to put the work in and consciously make decisions to change, right? Give you my example, right? We talk going back to the loyal layer. I told you guys at the beginning of the pod about my little love handles and everything. And so as I talk about behaviors real quick, with the love handles, we talked about some of the things that I won't stop eating. The fries, the candy, we already talked about that. Talked about Randy as well, exercise. Like, I want to take it a little deeper than that. The loyal layer, in general, represents being okay with not pushing 100% in something. That's what I took away from my love handles. Now, again, if I'm at peace with that, everybody don't have to have a six pack, but I would be at peace with it if my lack of six pack was due to my 100% try, but it's not. So that's where it gets messed up. But when it comes to the loyal layer and behaviors, I want to talk about something that I've learned. And as I thought about loyal layer even more, like, why am I the way I am? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I the way I am? What's a good example as to why I even have these love handles on my stomach and not just what I've been eating? But like, why am I the type of person that says, all right, well, I know I ain't supposed to eat it. I'm going to do it anyway. I can get by. Like, why am I like that? I thought of an example. So me and you talked about this, but I'm bring it up here. When I went to university, college, you know, you don't like to wear university, you know what I'm saying? But I met you. I knew you were studious. I knew that you were super smart, super diligent, always ready for tests, always doing your homework and that kind of thing. And that's not who I was. I used to come here from school and I'd play video games. So I got off the bus and I'd go right inside. And whether it was with me or with my friends, we'd play FIFA, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, whatever the case. We'd play video games. After that, I would go do my homework or if I had a project and that kind of thing. Now, elementary school, middle school didn't mean nothing. I always got A's, B's, whatever. Same thing through high school. Went to university. I talked about how I met you. I got through university well. Pretty much got a 3.0 when I graduated. Didn't get a 4.0. Once again, I got the 3.0 with the loyal layer. But a 3.0 is great.
Right.
Everybody celebrated me with a 3.0. I celebrated me. There was an element of loyal layer there that I'd always took through my whole life. When I was in university, when I had that important test the next day, somehow I was still in my room playing my video game with my roommate first. That behavior followed me throughout. So I looked at it and I'm like, well, then I get to a point in my life now where I got my own businesses, I'm managing, and it starts to show up even more that I could have been and I could have did more without that because I need those skills now. I need to be able to focus on things now. We have a business together. I need to be able to put my all into it. But I still have that same behavior sometimes, which is like, I got to have a little fun first. That's like my thing. Yeah. So everybody, I'm saying all of this, not just to tell you about me, the fact that I play video games and yada, yada, but the outcome was I have a loyal layer that if I have to go through anything tough or anything challenging, I got to have fun first. But maybe that's not how it's always supposed to be. There's a time and place for everything. And while I'm sitting there having fun, I'm actually taken away from the preparation that I needed. I'm taken away from the focus that I should have. At this point, when I got more to lose, I could be losing out on the opportunity while I'm having fun at the wrong time. But now I've created this person that has a loyal layer of I'm going to have some fun first. You know what I'm saying? And all these years later, that's super tough to break. I ain't even broke it yet. So I want people to know that if you're sitting there and you're listening to us and you're like, all right, I'm hearing all this stuff about loyal layer, there's certain decisions I'm not pushing myself 100% on. I'm not telling you that you can just snap your fingers and now start to do it. Go through the discovery phase. Really think about why you are the way you are and be at peace with it so that you can start to possibly change it. So I'm not mad I used to play video games all the time, but I do recognize like, I got a son now. That's one thing I could do differently, hopefully for him, because it's not just about video games. It's not just about, oh, I can do this later and still get an A. The A don't mean nothing. Even though it's so meaningful, that A is not what I need now. You see what I'm saying? What I need now is the loyal layer to be removed.
You need that discipline.
That's what I'm saying. To take my good and make it great, I have to remove the loyal layer. And that's hard. You see what I'm saying? And that's just an example of that. So anybody that's listening, again, subscribe to our show. I don't know where else you guys are going. That's anybody's keeping this real with you. You know what I'm saying? But if you're really wondering, like, hey, I got this great idea, I think it will be successful. I think it's just for me. I want to push myself. I want to make money. And you wonder why that there's certain decisions that you don't really push yourself 100%. Try to identify where that came from. This is my example. Everybody has a different example, but just really try to figure out where that came from. It's an old saying, everybody says it, but how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you came from? It's actually true. So if you don't know why you are the way that you are, good luck trying to change it. You see what I'm saying? Because you're out there making decisions all the time that's impacting the type of person you become. So if you haven't been thinking about it along the way, you kind of got to stop at a point and look back.
I have a question.
What's up?
Is that where it started though? The plan, like, did it start in college, like having fun first before you do something?
I think it started from, to be honest, it started from me being a kid, and everything that I did, if I didn't put 100% in it, I was still successful and I was still celebrated. You know what I'm saying? So I think it just started from young. Like I would even play basketball after school. Like I always had a reason to put things off. You know what I'm saying? That's a good question, because not only was I doing it because I knew I would still do good anyway, I just always had a reason that it didn't have to be done right away. Like there was a time and thing that I always felt like I had time. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know if you ever been like that, but no matter what, school work, actual work, I always felt like I had time, but I didn't really have time. What I had time to do was put something together real quick and get a really good result or a pretty good result. Mm-hmm. But I didn't get time to actually allow it to change me and make me better and allow me to take that learning forward with me or them skills forward with me, because it's microwaved. Everything was microwaved. You know what I'm saying? Now, jumping even further, but it's nothing wrong with microwave food at all. You know what I'm saying? But it's different when it's that home cooked, slow grind, put everything into it food. It feels different. When you eat it, it feels different. It makes your body feel different. Mm-hmm. It's because of everything that you put into it that makes you feel good. Now, you might have some of the best food in the world, but if you put it in the microwave for some reason, it don't give you that same impact. It hasn't gone through the same process of being slow cooked, of being putting the right spices in it, as that love from somebody cooking from the actual stove and just putting everything into it, and the time that it takes and the dedication and the thought and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why it has that type of impact when you eat it. It's true. You can put a blindfold on you right now and put a microwave plate in front of you, or even put a restaurant plate of food in front of you, but then put your mama's food there or your grandma's food there. You'd be like, oh, somebody made this. Mm-hmm. You don't even know what that is. You can't really describe it. I don't think anybody in the world could really put the right word on it to tell you why do you know it's home cooked, but you just know. It's because of everything that went into it. Now, the thing is, a lot of people that are looking from the outside that don't really focus on it would just say, it's just good food on both sides. It's good food. And it is good food. Just like my 90%. It's good. You know what I'm saying? Just like everything I did through university and college. It's good. But I know I didn't slow cook it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know I didn't put everything into it to see what it could be. And now I'm not doing that no more. But that was the difference. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody else that's listening, like, this ain't to make you feel negative. This is to inspire you of, like, how do you get better without assessing what you currently are in a real way? And that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So even though we're successful, once again, we're successful. I got a great job. We got businesses. We got kids. We're married, almost 9 years now? You know what I'm saying? 2 businesses, clients, making passive money, like a little bit. I got to invest. Like, okay, but nothing could change what I know, and nothing could change what you know. You know what I'm saying? So this is the season, guys. I hope you join me with this, but this is the season of removing whatever loyal layer is in your life. Slowly, whether it's exercise, whether it's financially, you know what I mean? Whether you told yourself you're going to go to the happy hour once a week and not 3 times a week, whatever you keep doing that feeds that little, and usually it's like a little euphoric feeling that you get from the loyal layer. It's usually a little, there's some type of euphoria that comes out of keeping that layer loyal, whether it's that, you know what I mean, them love handles, but all the food that contributes to them love handles give you an instant bump of feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, you don't feel good, but it gives you that initial bump of feel good. You know what I'm saying? Now, loyal layer, take it a little bit further. Randy, I want your thought on this. But loyal layer is, once again, there's couple minor decisions. You're not pushing yourself 100%, and you think it's not going to be so bad. But you can look over time and realize that you haven't reached your max potential. But this has me thinking about something else that we have to be careful about. I might go a little left. When we're dealing with this loyal layer, and again, there's things that we like that are holding us back. We have to understand that these are things that we probably desire. These are things that are hard to sacrifice. These are things that might be shiny, appealing, new, trendy, fashionable, whatever it is. But you said it best, it keeps you distracted. You know what I'm saying? We got to have a clear mind if we're trying to do a lot. It keeps you distracted. I was thinking, sometimes something could seem good and it not be actually good for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you an example. Like, eating good is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? In moderation, working out is also a good thing, But the downside of it sometimes also is looking in the mirror like I did and being like, am I good enough? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I happy with who I am? Because that's the other side of this. Am I happy with who I am, no matter what? Because the loyal layer is there. But am I still happy? Is what I've been thinking. It's okay to want to improve it and change it, but I want to still be happy anyway. And I want to get your thought on, how to keep authentic happiness, because we're talking about this loyal layer, and it's true. Like, a lot of us out there got these decisions that we're not maximizing ourselves 100%, and we left with 90% results. But like, true happiness, how do you continue to be happy on that journey? Because you're doing it, I think. Even with your anxiety, all the stuff you're trying to do, how do you be happy? I think you go every morning, you're in your Bible and stuff. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm. But how do you keep your spirit happy? How do you keep yourself even wanting to keep trying? Because the loyal layer is loyal. It don't just disappear. Like, how do you keep going and be happy with your life, even for where you're at right now? Loyal layer and all.
So I look at every day as a new day and a new opportunity.
Yeah.
So, and I can acknowledge my loyal layers and then try to do better today.
What's some of the things that, I gave you some love on it, but as we're going through, and again, guys, you sat there, you're thinking about it. All right, I do got some loyal layers. All right, so this is where we are in the pod. Everybody's here. We agree, and on our show, in our community, wherever you're listening, you got a loyal layer, man. Let's keep it real. Now we got to go forward. What can we do to start actually working through these loyal layers? All right, and I'm gonna give you an example for me, and this is just real. I know one. I already know. I'm gonna give you for me. Does it mean I'll never eat pizza or any of those things? Doesn't mean that. But at the same time, I gotta look in the mirror and say, how bad do I really want this 6-pack? Like, how bad do you want it? Because
how bad do you want it?
That's a real question. That's a real question. Right now, after having this conversation, I want it real bad. But I do. And not because it means anything besides the fact that I know the sacrifice I'll have to make to get it, and that will represent something I haven't did in my life. But the 6-pack, what is it going to do? You still here. You know what I mean? I ain't about to get another one of you. You know what I mean? You still here. I still got the same kids looking for the same food at the same nights. You know what I'm saying? The same experiences, everything that we do. But that would be a reflection of my loyal layer being removed, and that's the changing. That's what this is all about. Changing. You know what I'm saying? As we go on our path to success, whatever it is, the ups and downs involved in it, you will have to change. Each of us has to change at some point for some reason. This is just the discussion today. I got to change if I want to get rid of this loyal layer. I don't have to.
Right.
I don't have to. But the loyal layer will continue to be loyal to me.
And it might even become more loyal.
And it might become more layer. Exactly. Right? And think about that in your life. You don't have to. You could be like, hey, man, this guy, I'm listening to this guy. Like, you know, I'm good with where I'm at. Like, I ain't got to sit here. All right, well, that might be today. In 2 years, you might feel differently about it. In 5 years, you might feel differently about it. In 20 years, you might say, man, 20 years ago, I used to put the best that I could forward, but, you know, I knew I could have did better. Whatever. But now it's 20 years later, and it really bothers me, yo. It really bothers me. We don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen because in a small snapshot, we're now changing it. But that's been a part of our life too. Time goes by fast. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be happy with the life that we lived and the decisions were made and the decisions we haven't made. You know what I'm saying? So how bad do you want it? That's a great question. The amount that you want it might equal, and I'm going to say today, it really equals letting go of your loyal layer, for real. That will show how bad you really want something. So if I really want this 6-pack as fast as possible, as urgent as possible, I want to put everything into it, then I'm not eating the fries, I'm not eating the burgers, I'm not eating the candy all the time. And when I go work out, if I do 20 reps, then I push it to 25. Yeah. All right. We always do that. Working out's a good example. You do your 20 push-ups, you feel the burn. All right, I did something. You feel some pain. I did something. It's something in you that has to take it 5 more reps. There's 5 additional reps that your arms do not want to do. You know what I'm saying? There's 5 additional reps that your abs do not want to do. Those are the 5 reps that take you over the top, that make you different. You know what I'm saying? And to this point, up until our show and a lot of stuff we've been doing lately, I ain't wanted to push myself further than that, you know? But thanks to you, you are making me do it. You know what I'm saying? You are making me do it. Now, what do you, I want to get your thought on one thing for yourself. When we're talking about this loyal layer thing, going forward, is it anything that you want to change? Because I'm telling you all this about me, and I'm being real about it. You know what I'm saying? But is there anything? Because I want people that are following our platform and everything, the authenticity that we have. You guys are gonna see us change before your eyes, and we want to see you improve in front of our eyes as well and be a part of our community. But loyal layer, we finish our pod today. What are you taking forward from it?
Specifically?
Whatever's on you, yeah.
The fitness thing. Mm-hmm. It would be nice. It would be nice to commit and to really push myself to that next level because I've done it before. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but it makes me sad because I know what I'd have to give up.
And it makes you sad? Mm-hmm. So do you think that is because what you have to give up is something you want more than the goal, or you just think you want them both?
I want them both.
You want them both.
Yeah.
You want them both.
I want to eat and I want to be fit.
You want them both.
I want them both. And I can't have them both. And that's why I've been stuck in this, like just at the same place for such a long time.
Yeah.
Put in a lot of work. I see results, but I don't see the results that I want. Mm-hmm. But I can say I haven't given 100%. Even sometimes when I work out with my trainer, but that's the reason I have a trainer, because I know on my own I'm not going to give 100%. So I have to pay somebody to help me get close to it. And even when I work out with him, sometimes I don't give 100%. It's actually rare that I do give 100%.
Interesting. So we got that in common then.
I just don't like working out. Like, I feel great afterwards, but it doesn't feel good.
It don't. Hey, and and on the real, let's keep it real. Like, I mean, I need somebody to tell me in the comments or wherever, like, you guys really like eating them chickpea salads and all them hummus and crackers and all that? Like, I'm not saying that stuff ain't good, but like when I see people posting and they be like, it's lunchtime, I'm so excited, and it's like a big plate of like chickpeas on top of avocado squares. I'm like, is that really good?
But it's not supposed to be. It's a mindset because it's good for you.
I know, but is it really good though? That's the thing.
I know.
That's what I be wanting to.
So much.
And I know that your palate changes, so I know that there's a lot of truth in it. But like, is it really true that your palate could change so much that is just really tastes good to you? You got what I'm saying? Like, can it change that much? I know when we was in Portugal, I tell you, we're eating all this good food. We both agree. We eating all this good food changed our lives, right? Less sugar, less, what is it? Sugar, salt, and stress. We had all three of those things. They decreased significantly in Portugal. When we came back to the U.S., they increased instantly. Mm-hmm. Salt, sugar, and stress. We got an episode on that, right?
We do.
Yeah, you got to check that out. I don't know what episode it is, but go check that out. Really, really good. But, can you really want something that's actually really, really good for you? Can you? And we're going to talk about this more in another episode, but I want y'all to think about that. Can you really want something that's really, really good for you? And why do we struggle with that? I want to close out with this. You might be like, bro, if it's good for me, I want it. Think about human nature. What do we really want as humans? What do we really want? The things that are not really good for us. The things that are cradling the line of maybe good, but maybe bad. Potential danger. We love it. It could go wrong with me. We love it. Right? That's why we do the things we do. For whatever reason. And you might think I'm crazy. Millions of people out there doing the same thing every day. About to go smoke a cigarette, smoke a cigar, ignore the warning right on the package that's telling you about to die and get heart disease if you keep doing this. Cool, doesn't matter. I have an addiction. I've made some decisions. That doesn't matter. That's not the priority thing. But can you really want things that's just good for you? The things that are good for you, good food, is a challenge to want it. Exercise. It's a challenge to want it. Being good to your spouse. That's a challenge. Going to church. Having a relationship with God. These are things that are good for you. But they're challenging. You know what I'm saying? Going out there, making friends. Being your own person. Not following the crowd. All things that are good for you individually. But they're hard to do. So I want you to really think about that. When you think about your life and you as a person. And you're trying to navigate. It's a reason why we had this show. The ups and downs of life, because as human nature, you naturally will want the things that are not so good for you sometimes. All right. And it's going to pull you down sometimes because we ain't perfect. Sometimes we cave into these things, aka the loyal layer. Please don't think every time that I had a thing of fries or pizza or whatever that I wasn't trying not to have it. I was trying not to have it. I had told myself I shouldn't have it. But I rationalized the fact that I can have it because I haven't had so much.
Right.
And we always rationalize things away. But when you catch yourself rationalizing, you should ask yourself, is there really a reason? Because rationalizing and reason are two different things. All right. Now, talking about human nature, I want to, bring this to a thing. And what we believe, and we believe in life after this, and the fact that there's something after this life on earth. We talked about that. But human nature, like, if you don't believe that it's hard to want things that's good for you, Think about the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? And think about the fact that even as you go on your journey and things are happening, you may not always want the right thing, and it's natural for you to want something that you ain't supposed to have. That's natural. All right? Don't ever forget that there was once a time in life that there was the most beautiful sky and the most beautiful water and the most perfect animals. And you had the most perfect voice and the most perfect looking man and the most perfect looking woman. And everything was just amazing, and no sickness and no COVID and none of these crazy things, no gangs, just paradise. But there was one little thing that was a temptation, right? It was one little thing. And here's the beautiful thing in a way. The apple was the temptation. Apples are good for you. Nice, big, juicy red apple. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's in that one little spot that is not for you. Human nature in the beginning of time tells you that no matter what you do, that apple will always be something that you want. We can't beat that. We cannot beat it, right? We will always want that additional thing that may not be for us. And you guys have to remember that as you go through your life and the ups and downs, there's things that are not good for you. Please expect them sometimes to look like beautiful, red, shiny apples. Right? Mm-hmm. They may not look like, think about it. If you think about that story, if that apple was rotten with flies on it, it would have been instantly to know, well, that's why he told me not to come over here. That's why he told me don't eat this fruit because it's nasty. It's rotten. It's full of bugs. I'm okay to pass on this. But that's not how the story goes. The story goes that the fine woman, right, is over there with this tree and this apple, and I'm sure the apple tasted bomb. I'm sure it did. But we all know how the story ends afterwards. That happens a lot in our lives with the decisions we're making. So when you're out there and you're doing certain things, just really think about it. Like, it may not be good for you, and it's okay to say that, even if it's beautiful, shiny, new, you will know in your spirit there's things that are not right. We got to listen to that. But don't forget that it's okay to recognize that human nature can take over sometimes, and you are naturally going to want things that you're not supposed to have. All right. And that contributes to the ups and downs of life on your journey, because no matter what, how do you navigate that? How do you keep yourself in check? How do you stay focused? You know what I'm saying? It's very, very hard. It's hard for us. But guess what? Through our Patreon that I want y'all to sign up for, is only $5 a month. These are the kind of things that we want to be talking about and hearing from you guys about, just real life things and challenges that you have, because we all need help at different points. Even if we have the advice or the right expertise, we all need help at certain points. All right? You could be a doctor. You know how to save somebody's life. But if you're in the middle of your own heart attack, you need somebody to come save you. So we all need each other at certain points in our journey of life, no matter what we know. It doesn't matter what you know. It really matters what you share. And that's what we're doing. Right, Bear?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
Anyway, I've been talking a lot today. You know what I'm saying?
You've been rapping.
I've been rapping. But you know what? This loyal layer thing's got me. And you know what, guys? And for our Patreon subscribers, when, not if, when I beat this loyal layer, I'll see if Randy lets me celebrate by showing y'all my six-pack.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see about that. But anyway, yo, make sure you subscribe to our podcast. Again, this is Quiet Money Podcast. I'm Dax.
And I'm Randy.
And we are so happy to have you as part of our show and listening to us today. And make sure that you follow us and listen to all of our previous episodes. And we got so much more coming, because this thing of life is a journey. And we're on it to be successful, being authentic, our own way. But it's going to have tough times and good times. And this is the one platform above all, that you're going to hear about both. All right. Till next time. Peace. Make sure you follow Quiet Money Podcast on all streaming platforms that have podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. Leave comments on our videos. Let us know what you're going through, ups and downs. We want to hear from you. We engage with you. And we'll see you next time. Peace.